again, my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. And today we have got ourselves a blanket pattern that I call the Rick Rack Filet blanket. And the reason why is, yes, it does have sort of ziggy-zaggy, but it's a short ziggy-zaggy, and it kind of reminded me of, well, Rick Rack. And so this is a square blanket, starts at the center, works its way out. It's really, really simple, and it is only a 4-round repeat. Yep, very, very, very simple. For today's piece, I used Bernat Baby Sport. Now, this particular blanket, I went into just a little bit into a second skein. Now, as far as yardage goes, where are we? Here we go. So this is approximately 1,077 yards. Now, this is a weight of 3 yarn, and I used a size H. Where is my hook? Here's my hook. A size H, which is a 5mm hook for this particular project, and I had to go into a second skein. Now, this is going to be a baby blanket, so it's about 40 inches-ish square. Of course, if you want it bigger, you're going to need more yarn, naturally. But I thought that this would be perfect for this project. So today, we're going to be using the same yarn, but in this lovely shade of pastel pink. And without further ado, let's get started. Round 1. Now, the basis of this blanket is essentially a closed granny square in its, in its sort of genetic makeup, if you will. So we're going to start off with a chaining of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slip stitch to the first chain to create a ring. And then from here, going to chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's going to count as a double crochet and a space as well. Don't worry, we'll get there. So after chaining up 4 into the ring that we created, 2 double crochets. And we're going to have 2 double crochets for each of our sides. So as opposed to your, ordinarily you would do 3, but in this case, for the sake of the pattern, it's only going to be 2. So from here, chain 2, and then into that center ring, 2 more doubles. Chain 2, 2 more doubles in that ring. So we've got 1, 2, 3 groupings, and right up here that's going to be the 4th grouping. So to get there, chain 2 into the ring again, double crochet, and then we need to slip stitch into the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3, that 3rd chain from the bottom. Right in there. And that essentially finishes up our round. Now to finish, going to slip stitch into this chain space. Now, don't ask me why, but even though there's only 1 chain space here, and there's 2 here, it looks the same. And I found that if you do additional chain spaces when you first start, it's too big. Don't ask me why, but that's why I suggest start with a chaining up of 4, and then you're going to do your slip stitch into the 3rd chain. So to finish up round 1, slip stitch into the chain space, and that will set us up for round 2. All right, round 2. We haven't gotten into our patterning yet, but we will soon. For now, just going to start by increasing the size of our square. So start off by chaining up 4. And every round starts the same with the chaining up of 4, and into that same space, 2 doubles. And then going to continue along, double crochet into each double. And then in each corner, it's going to be 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Two doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. And then double crochet into each of these next 2 stitches. And then in the corner chain space, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Okay, double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. And then in the corner, once again, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. And we are almost back to where we started from. Okay, so double crochet into each of these next 2 stitches. And then it's really easy to think that you're done with this round. However, you are not. You still need to do 1 more stitch into this corner space down here because we only have 1 stitch up here. See, if we left off, see, we have 2, 4, 6. Right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that would be 5. So need to do a double crochet into the space down here. And then we do our slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the bottom. There we go. And then slip stitch into the chain 2 space. See, right now we have 2, 4, and 6 double crochets. So it's all nice and even. All right, so that is the end of round 2. Okay, round 3. Round 3 really isn't going to be anything new. Basically just going to be continuing along, increasing the size of our square in the same fashion that we just did. So chain up 4, and then into the chain space, 2 doubles. And then double crochet into each double all the way across. Now the reason why we're doing this is it sort of sets up the rest of the blanket for the pattern. so that our fillet eyelets are in the right spaces. And I did a lot of experimentation and tweaking and fiddling and finagling, and this is ultimately what I came up with. Initially, I was trying for something completely different, and then I came and discovered that this worked out rather nicely too. So after doing your double crochets into each stitch, then when you hit the corner, I already did my 2 doubles because I was busy rambling, 2 doubles, and then I need to do chain 2, and then 2 more doubles into the same chain space. So I got my 2, chain 2, and then 2 doubles. Yeah, I was trying for something completely different, and well, I'm happy with this. So then we did our 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles in that corner space, double crochet our way across, and then in the corner we will do the same thing again. And so this is what I'm going to refer to as a solid round. And that is one of the components to this particular pattern. The other 2 components are what I'm going to call 6s and 2s. And you'll see why when we get there. So I already reached the corner space. So in that corner space, I already got 1. I need 1 more. And then chain 2, and then 2 more in the same space. But we'll get to the 6s and the 2s all too soon. Don't you worry about that. So we're just following along in the same fashion. So then double crochet into each stitch until we reach the corner, and then when we do, again, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. It's very, very, very straightforward. So after we finish our solid round, we're going to do a round of 6s. Okay, we reach the corner, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. And of course, you can use whatever yarn you want. Double crochet our way across. And again, we have to be careful because we have to finish up by doing a double crochet into that corner space before doing our slip stitch. Yeah, I think that this project would look lovely in a slow changing variegated or an ombre. As per usual, I would not suggest a quick changing variegated because then you would lose the fillet pattern. Okay, so I just need to do this 1 more right here, and then going into the chain space below with a double, and then slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the bottom, slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the chain space. Now, it's easy to forget and it's easy to overlook, so what you might want to consider doing is to count the number of stitches per row, at least initially, because when you're finishing up your row, it is easy to make a mistake. I've done it myself, so might not be a bad idea. So at any rate, that is the end of round 3. Round 4. Okay, so round 4, we're going to start in with the fillet aspect, and it's going to be a round of 6s. So to start off, I'm going to chain up 4 as per usual. and into the same space, 2 doubles. There we are. Now, for a round of 6s, we need an additional 4 more double crochets to add to our initial 2. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, chain 2, skipping 2 double crochets, going into the next, whoop, going into the next, thank you, and then these last 3, 1, 2, 3. So we've got 4. Then in the corner, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, two doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. So the reason why I call this a round of 6s is because we have a total of 6, then a fillet, and then 6. And so we're going to do the same thing all the way around. So we already have our initial 2 from the corner. Add 4 more for a total of 6. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skip 2 doubles, double crochet into the next 4, and then when you hit the corner, going to add 2 more, then a chain 2 and 2 more, because it's our protocol for doing corners. So got in the corner 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 more doubles, okay, we have our initial 2, we need to add 4 more so that we can get our 6. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skipping 2 doubles, going into the next 4. And then since we've reached the corner, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Okay, and we have our initial 2. We just need to add 4 more for the total of 6. Okay, so we've got 4, 5, and 6. Okay, chain 2, skip 2 doubles, double crochet into the next 4 stitches. That's 2, 3, and 4. And then we just need to do this additional one in the corner and then do our slip stitch so that we have a total of 6. So I got my 5, and then we're going to slip stitch to the 6th. And you want to go a little bit loose so that it's easier to get in on the next round. Then slip stitch into the chain space, and you are good to go. So that is a round of 6s, one of the main components to this pattern. All right, let us proceed on to round 5. Okay, round 5. So round 4 was a round of 6s. Round 5 is a round of 2s. So, as per usual, going to start off in the usual fashion by chaining up 4. And then into the same space, 2 doubles. And because this is a round of 2s, we already have our first component. So now, chain 2, skip 2 doubles, and then double into each of the next 2 stitches. So we've got 2, skipping, and then 2, chain 2, skip 2 doubles, and then do your double crochets, your 2 double crochets into that chain space. Chain 2, skip 2 doubles, then double into each of the next 2 stitches. Chain 2, and skip 2 doubles, and then into the corner space, same as usual, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. So whether there are actual stitches or if it is a filet chain space, because it's a chaining of 2, it still counts as 2 stitches. So either way. So chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double into the next 2. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 2 doubles into the chain space. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double into the next 2. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches into the corner space, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. Okay, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double into the next 2. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 2 doubles into the chain space. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 2 doubles in the next 2 stitches. There we go. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and we're in the corner again. 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. So we've already done a solid round, a round of 6s, and we have a round of 2s. And that is actually the essence of the whole pattern in a nutshell. It's just how you go about orchestrating them together. So I'm going to do this last edge here, get my chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double into each of the next 2, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 2 doubles into the chain space, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double into each of the next 2, chain 2, skip 2 stitches into that corner space, double crochet, there we are, and then slip stitch to the 3rd chain, and slip stitch into the corner space, and there you go. That is the end of round 5. So we're working on the sort of rick-rack aspect. It will become a little bit clearer on the next round. So let's get to it. Round 6. Okay. So round 6 is going to be another round of 6s, just like this one right here. And that's going to frame the round of 2s that we just did. So let's get to it. I'm going to start by chaining up 4 as per usual, and 2 double crochets into that same corner space. Now, because this is a round of 6s, we already have 2. We need to add 4 more. So double crochet into the next 2 stitches, and 2 doubles into the chain space for our total of 6. Like so. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and then we need a total of 6. So 2 in the chain space, 1 in each, and 2 in the chain space for the total of 6. So we've got our, well, we had 5. Now we've got 6. There we go. Chain 2, skip these 2 stitches, and then we need a total of 6. So it's going to be 2, 2, and 2. So skipping those 2, going into the chain space with 2 doubles, and 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. And then we do our corners as normal. So 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. There we go. So, as you can see, we have a row of 6s, a round of 2s, and a round of 6s. So it creates sort of that rick-rag, ziggy-zaggy thing going on there. And we just continue on in the same fashion with our 6s. So we have our 2. We need to add 4 more. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, then 6 more doubles. So skipping these 2, 2 in the chain space. Like I said before, the chain spaces count as 2 stitches. So we've got 2, 3, 4, then 5 and 6 into the chain space. Okay, chain 2, skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then in the corner, 5 and 6. Chain 2. Two more doubles in the corner. And my air is kicking on. I do hope that you can hear me all right. It has been sweltering here, as I'm sure it has been for a lot of you. Try to stay cool. Okay, so we've got 2. We need 4 more. So that's 3, 4, then 5 and 6 go in the chain space. Okay, so I got my 6, chain 2, skip 2 stitches, then 6 more. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. One more side to go. We're getting there. Chain 2. 2 more doubles into that corner space. Okay, we got the 2. We need 4 more. So that's 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 in the chain space. Okay, so we have our 6, chain 2, skip 2 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2. Pull out a bit more yarn. Okay, so I chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and since we already have 1, I only need to really do 5. So skip these 2, into the chain space, 2 doubles. So I've got 2, then 3, 4, and then 5 goes into the corner, and then we slip stitch to the 6th. So we've got our 5, and then slip stitch into the last one to finish our grouping of 6. There we go. And then, of course, slip stitch into the chain space, and there you go. So that is the end of round 6. Looking pretty already. Okay, well, let's keep going. Alright, so round 7 is actually sort of what polishes off the pattern, and quite simply, it is just a solid round. So I'm only going to do one side because you guys should be familiar with what we're doing. So going to chain up 4, and then 2 doubles into that same corner space. And then, quite simply, just do a solid row of doubles. And whenever you reach a filet chain space, always do 2 doubles because we chained 2, right? So it's the equivalent to 2 double crochets. And the only increasing that you're doing throughout this project is at the corners. Otherwise, you're either creating an eyelet or filling one in. See? And as far as the repeat goes for this pattern, it is 4, 5, 6, and 7. Because I think that ending on a solid round looks rather nice and polished. You can, of course, add, a border to this if you so choose. I think it looks just dandy without, but, to each their own, do what you will. And just remember, every time you reach a filet eyelet space, just 2 doubles into that. And voila. And then when you reach the corners, it's always, always, always 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, and then proceed along the next side. But, like I said, since we've already done this sort of thing a bunch, I don't think I need to do the entire round for you. I think you guys got this. It's very, very straightforward. So I reach the corner, 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. Okay, and then, just solid double crocheting along every side. And then, as always, be careful that when you're going along the last edge, you would do your 2 doubles in here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then double crochet into the chain space at the corner, and then last but not least, slip stitch into the 3rd chain of our first double crochet there, okay? Very, very important. Otherwise, it will throw off your count for rounds down the road. So I'm going to finish up this round off camera, and as you can see, makes it look nice and polished, I think. All right, so going to finish up round 7 off camera, and then we will do sort of a cursory repeat. Okay, I'll be right back. Alrighty, so round 4 for the repeat. Again, I'm only going to be doing one side because the repetition, I think, is really quite simple. So, going to get you started, though. So, as always, start off your round by chaining up 4. And 2 more doubles into the corner space. It's always the same. Makes it nice and straightforward. So, round 4, like we did down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, it is a round of 6s. Basic way to break it down is a round of 6s, then a round of 2s, then a round of 6s, and then a solid. Okay, so I'm going to start with a round of 6s. So we already have 2, we need 4 more. So I've got 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, and then do 6 more. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, 6 more doubles. That's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skip 2 stitches, double 6 more. It's 2, 3, 4, and in the corners we will finish up our 6s by doing in the corner 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. The corners, as I said, are always the same. And then so you would finish up your remaining sides in the same way. So after doing our 2 here, we need an additional 4, then chain 2, skip 2, 6 more, chain 2, skip 2, 6 more, and so on and so forth, doing your corners as normal. And then, as I said before, do not forget that after doing this last double crochet, you need to do a double crochet into the corner space and slip stitch to the 3rd chain. Okay, so I will meet back up with you when I'm done with round 4, and we will proceed. Okay, round 5 for the repeat. We just did a round of 6s. Now we need to do a round of 2s. And again, I'm not going to do the whole round, but I'll get you started. So chain up 4, 2 doubles into the same corner space, and so we already have 2, so chain 2, skip 2, and then 2 doubles. And that's really the gist. Chain 2, skip 2, 2 doubles, 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 chain 2, skip 2, 2 doubles. I'm having issue, pardon me. There we go. Chain 2, skip 2, 2 doubles, chain 2, skip 2, and then in the corners, 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. And, excuse me. So that is how the rest of the round is going to play out. And so you always do the corners the same way. It's just this is a 2 round. Okay, so keep on keeping on in the same fashion all the way around, being sure that after you do your 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, chain 2, be sure to do your last double crochet into the corner chain space and then slip stitch to the 3rd chain of your first double crochet. So that is round 5 for the repeat. Let's do round 6 real quick. All right, so round 6 for the repeat. So as you know, recap, we did a round of 6s, a round of 2s. Now we need another round of 6s to frame it. So chain up 4 into the same space, 2 doubles, and then add 4 more for the 6. So we've got 3, 4, 5, and 6. Chain 2, skip 2, 6 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 2, skip 2, 6 doubles. And 4, 5, and 6, chain 2, skip 2, 6 doubles. Oop. Got away from me. Okay, so that's 3, 4, 5, and 6, chain 2, skip 2, 6 doubles, which brings us to the corner. So we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And since we're in the corner, chain 2 and 2 more doubles in that same corner. And there you go. Absolutely love how this looks. Okay, so going to finish up the round by finishing up, because we have a 2, so you need 4 more. Chain 2, skip 2, 6 doubles. Chain 2, skip 2, 6 doubles, etc., doing your 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles in the corners, and of course being sure to do your 6 at the end, which would be 2, 2, then 1 in here, and slip stitch to the top 3rd chain of your first double, and there you go. All right, so we are coming full circle with round 7. So we did our 6, our 2, our 6. Well, now we just need a solid, and that's really all there is to it. So chaining up 4, 2 doubles in the same space in the corner there. As per usual, and then just double crochet your way along, all the way across. Now, making sure to continue to increase in your corners as per usual with your 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, and there you have it. And I imagine that you could tweak and fiddle with this particular pattern. What I suggest is, and this is how I came up with this, graph paper. Yeah, there are apps that you can use on your phone for creating charts. Simple graph paper that you get from, say, like a Staples or a stationery store. Also, I would suggest use a pencil because you'll save a lot of paper in the long run. But yeah, graph paper is awesome for creating these kinds of patterns. Because essentially every 2 stitches would equal 1 box on your graph paper. And that's how I came up with this. And yeah, I did a whole bunch of experimenting. Actually, initially I was trying to do something with hearts, and it just didn't look right with how I was trying to go about it. But this is the result, our rickrack. And so yeah, you just keep doing rounds 4 through 7 for as long as you want to, for as big as you want your blanket to be. And, just keep going. Keep going and going and going. And I would suggest ending on a round 7 as far as potential borders. I don't know. Honestly, I like a solid double crochet border, just like this. You could, however, of course, also do, say, a 1x1 ribbing of front and back post double crochets. Just be sure that in addition to your 2 doubles, you would want to have about 3 doubles in the actual corner. Otherwise it's going to buckle. So I would say that in your corner, probably I'm thinking like 3 or 5 doubles in your corner spaces. Probably 5, I think, would work. But experiment with it. That is what I would suggest. So we've reached the corner. 2 doubles. Chain 2 and 2 doubles. Yeah, so I would say probably, maybe like 5 double crochets in each corner. Also would make it solid as opposed to continuing on with the eyelets. So I would say, yeah, experiment, fiddle around with it, and have fun. This is one of those great stitch patterns where you really don't have to think too terribly hard in order to create something beautiful, and it's quick and simple. Alrighty, my dears, so that is going to conclude today's video on the Rickrack Filet blanket. So again, all you have to do is repeat rounds 4 through 7 for as long as you want your project to keep growing. Timestamps, of course, are in the description box down below. Yep. And I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. And if you did, give a little thumbs up button down below. You know that I appreciate your appreciation, always. And until next time, I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.